It is Wednesday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus Digital Desk. I am Taylor Gattoni with Claudia Sella. How are you doing?
Good. It's Wednesday. I'm happy.
Wednesday.
And it is a wacky Wednesday on Studio
Give
10.
you that. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
well, I kind of use the word wacky with like spooky, like
Okay.
it's a good Wednesday. So if you like all things spooky, then we have a show for you today. That's for sure.
And let me just say, Halloween is like 2 weeks away now? It's coming up quick. 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's super, super quick. Christmas is like 70-something days away.
Oh, you know that. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just want to let everyone know.
I was in Target yesterday.
Christmas.
Already Christmas decorations. They're cute, I'll give you that. But I was like, I walked in and had to do like a double take. So I was like, we haven't hit Halloween. I still have to get some Halloween decorations.
I know. They're already replacing Louis the Jack-o'-lantern with Christmas.
And that was cool. You guys had that on Studio 10. That was funny.
Isn't it funny?
I'm Louis.
Yeah, I'm Louis. I love it. I want it so bad. I have nowhere to put it. But I think if I put it, I would have it on a very small deck. And I think that it would be funny. But it would take up the whole deck.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
You never know. But I hope they come out with something like that for Christmas, too.
That would be good.
Like a tall, skinny Santa or something.
What would you want him to say? Instead of Louis, what's a name that would just, like, make you laugh because it's so...
You'd have to have, like, a...
Christmassy.
Yeah, he'd have to have, like, John, the...
Right.
I don't know.
I feel like you couldn't do Nick because that's like Saint Nick.
Yeah, you couldn't. And you know what? They would do that too. You know what I mean? They would do that. So, but we
Yeah, besides the point. Wacky Wednesday.
Wacky Wednesday. Well, we'll talk about A Nightmare Before Christmas. Not the movie, but the nightmare we're going to have on our show. It's a good kind of nightmare. It's Women's National Small Business Month, but it's also almost Friday the 13th. So
yes, it is.
We are going to celebrate that by going to a very spooky business. We're going to be at the Screamatorium in Rio Town, and which is also connected to Dead Time Stories. And we're going to be talking about, first off, what it's like to own a business as a woman. 2 businesses connected, actually. But not only that, what's it like to own a spooky business where, you're in charge of all things spooky? I mean, she really is the spooky queen of Lansing, I would say.
It is.
But we're going to talk about...
It's unique and interesting, creative, and you're looking at this like, ooh. It is. That's the best way I could put that.
And she has so much, she doesn't just cover, all things, superstitious. It's all things, even crime and, the unsolved spooky crimes in Michigan and just all over. So I'm really excited for this because I think it's a great way to celebrate Women's, Business Month. But it's cool that it's right in this area. And, I'm from West Michigan. We didn't have anything like this. So this is really cool.
So it makes it more unique in our area.
It is. And Mid-Michigan's very good at being spooky, if you haven't noticed. It's very good. So I'm really excited for that. And then we've, of course, got all of our talkers on the show, and we have some other great conversations. I won't give too much away because it is going to be kind of a spookier themed day. But yeah, I'm really excited to be there. And we're actually going to be leaving pretty soon. So we'll see you at 3 p.m.
Sounds good. Thank you, Claudia.
Yeah.
That is what you can expect, like Claudia said, coming up at 3 o'clock on Studio 10 today, which is coming up in just under 45 minutes here. So there are their socials if you want to go check it out. And then here is their YouTube page. So at WILX Studio 10 is where you want to go. And you can find any of their previous segments on there. If you want to get ready for fall, if you're not ready already, well, you can go onto their YouTube page, and they have great ideas. Nicole made these really cute, pumpkin dessert trays. She made it from scratch, so very DIY. You can go on there, and if you've got any fall mums, you can check that out on Studio 10 as well. They have some tips on there so that you can really make those mums grow and blossom. Yeah, all the good stuff.
Yep. Definitely.
Yes. Well, Justin Bradford is joining us here on the News 10 Plus desk. Justin, another cloudy day. I will say, looking at our sky cams, some of them are clearing up a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to begin to do that, I think, late today. We've been a little stubborn, but that's what we were expecting today, especially in the Lansing area. We'd be stuck under some clouds. We have seen a few more of the blue sky pockets in places like Jackson, areas further south, but for a lot of us, it's been tough to shed those clouds today, and unfortunately, that's left us with another cloudy day so far. But I do think we have a little bit of some help coming towards the evening, and the temperatures are warmer today as well in most spots than they have been all week, which isn't saying much because they've been pretty cool, but we've had some folks get into the 60s already today.
I was going to say, you said today is a pick day. And one of the best days out of the whole forecast for this week because we've got rain on the way.
Yeah, and I think tomorrow through the weekend and into early next week, we have rain just about every day. It doesn't mean it'll rain all day, and we'll detail when it will rain on those given days when we look at the forecast here. But today is definitely what I'm calling the pick day of the week because it is dry this afternoon and it's warmer this afternoon than it will be for the next 7 days.
And like you were saying yesterday, you got a new lawnmower. So you were out there trying to lawn mow all of the grass clippings, putting them into the bags.
That's going to be my evening plan, too, today because the rain's coming in tomorrow. And it might not be till late in the day for most, but there is a chance for rain tonight as well. And so I figure try to get ahead of it before any of that water falls because we're going to have plenty of it by the weekend.
So there you go. You can prepare before the rain like Justin is, and that's a great little tip right there. But we will send it outside for US 127 Skycam because it's not raining yet.
Yeah, not quite yet. We got still an opportunity for us to see a little sun late today. Right now, the Meridian Company Skycam Network view is, well, a little bit gloomy out there, but temperatures are back into the mid-50s. We're at 54 right now, and doing that with dry weather, again, is always a help. We don't have as much of the dampness in the air as we have over the past few days when we've seen those on and off showers. Now, satellite radar did bring a few of those showers through, mainly really riding the I-96 corridor. You see that earlier today, and the folks who were out around lunchtime, you maybe saw a few of those scoot through the area, but those were pretty short-lived, and they've since moved out of the region. A wider view shows that large system that's off to the north and east of us is continuing to move that direction. And so we should get out of this pattern, of course, just in time for another one to start settling in tomorrow, and that'll be the one that is with us through most of the end of the week and weekend. But temperatures, again, while they're a little slow going right now, Lansing, one of the coolest spots out there. Charlotte's at 59, Mason 56, Jackson and Marshall at 61. And we do have a couple of 63s down there. You get closer towards the state line. And so the warm air, if you want to call it warm air, the average air is not far away from the mid-Michigan major hubs like Jackson and like Lansing. Jackson 61, just about 2 degrees shy of normal for the time of year. May even add another degree or two today. You notice it's mid-60s in Chicago, Indianapolis, same thing. And we're not even really that far removed from those 70s and even numbers near 80 degrees, but they're not going to get here because, once again, we're seeing the cooler air kind of become the dominant pattern, and that's sort of been the case here. And so we'll see a little bit more of that moving forward here. And, again, continuing with all of that is going to be the numbers staying relatively cool for the time of year. So even though 54 is the number out there right now that we've got across mid-Michigan, I do expect that we likely see the numbers climb a little further this afternoon, especially if we are able to break open those clouds just a little bit. That would be a major help, and so that's what we'll continue to monitor moving forward. In the meantime, again, as I mentioned, those couple of those different areas have got temperatures that are generally running in the 60s out there right now, and so that's what we've got going on. It appears, too, that, and it's possible we may have had a disconnection take place with our graphics system here, but that's what we've got going right now. Having trouble connecting to the host out there, and so that's what we're dealing with once again. It's another,
like Claudia said, it's a wacky Wednesday.
We had it this morning too. So.
Yep, and so we're having a little bit of trouble for whatever reason with could be the network that we've got out here, but that's more or less what we're dealing with. We can try to give it one more try here if you'll bear with us, see if we're able to get some sort of signal out there to the graphics. Seems like we've got something going on with the Wi-Fi, but we might be able to pull it up. I'm going to give it a second to load.
Let me pull it up. What's going on here?
You know,
technical difficulties.
The funny thing is, I went off of the station Wi-Fi, and it seems like it might be trying to do something.
Oh, yeah, no, it's loading right there.
It's just
well, in the meantime.
It's taking a second. We're working with our technology here.
Is it
and look at that. We were able to pull it back up now that we're off of the station feed. It looks like we have got it back.
Crystal and Colton.
Yeah, and so that's what we've got going here. So here's a quick look, hour-by-hour temperatures. These, once again, going up into the upper 50s today. A few of the folks you've already seen are in the 60s, but the Lansing hub that we've got right here got us topping out 58, 59. If we're lucky, you get a little extra sun. Maybe 60 is within our reach, but going to be tough to do that if these clouds hang on, that is for sure. And so the hour-by-hour forecast look here is, again, going to continue to keep the numbers a little below normal today, but above what they have been lately, and we should stay dry through the evening as well. Now, as we get late into the overnight, you see a stream of moisture come through. Those are showers that are north of a warm front that will be to our south. And we know the warm front's not making it to us because the numbers are still in the 40s here by tomorrow morning. And so those warmer temperatures are going to stay south. The rain shield north of those warmer temps are going to be coming up near us, especially near and south of I-94. I do think Thursday could be a day that ends up mainly dry. And if that does happen, we maybe have a couple folks hit the upper 50s again. But as we head into the evening, we're going to see the return to some of those showers. That'll be a continued pattern that we follow into the overnight as well. But I really expect, and this is kind of what we've been trying to lay out for everybody, that as we get into the Friday afternoon and evening time frame, this is really when we're going to start to see the bulk of the rain move through. And you see it overspread the region here as we head into our Friday evening. And so by the time we get there, now at this point we'll be dealing with some more of the rain showers in the way of the cooler temperatures as well, kind of settling in for the tail end of the week as the system kind of passes us by. But you notice just how much rain we've got stacking up here. The hour by hour, by the time we do get to Friday evening, there's lots of it. It lasts through our Friday night and also out into our Saturday. And so it's that time frame we're looking at for a widespread, probably inch or two of rain across the area. And so but it will be spread out over the course of Friday mid-afternoon until about Saturday midday. And so it's not all falling at once. It's not all falling in a few hours. It'll be fairly spread out. So I don't think flooding is a big concern, which is good. But it will be a little bit of a soggy kind of soaking end to the week and start to the weekend. And so the 10-day forecast here, once again, I would call that the pick day of the week if we're looking at our Wednesday, just because it's the warmest day in the forecast. And it's one of the only dry ones we have between now and middle of next week. And really it's next Wednesday that is the next opportunity for no rain in the forecast. Even Tuesday, even though it looks like a mainly dry day, we might still have a few sprinkles lingering from the pattern that we will be climbing out of at that point. And you know, I mentioned it yesterday. I've been mentioning it for a while now. It's really hard to climb out of a hole like this in October because we don't really have those big pushes of warm air like you can get in September even. It's still to come through, and we saw that to start October. Got a big push of that warm air, got us into the 80s. But once you delve into this, where we get the 50s for highs for 7, 10, 13 days in a row, which is about what this stretch will be by the time we try to get up to 60 again in most spots, it's really hard to get the numbers back up above normal. And if it does happen, it usually is very brief. And so we're kind of in that time of year where we're settling into some of the cooler air. Normal highs, once again, are still low 60s for the time of year. We don't have any of those days in our 10-day. The only chance to get to low 60s are the people already there today or the ones who may climb there this afternoon. After that, we're going to sail down through the 50s the rest of this forecast, and that's going to include a lot of soggy days in the future. So as I mentioned, you got any yard work, whether it's lawn, shrubs, outdoor decorations, anything like that you want to put up heading into the holiday seasons here, Halloween coming first out of those, which, again, is less than 3 weeks away now. We're 20 days out from Halloween, and so that's kind of where we're at. Again, cooler air and rain showers aplenty, and so enjoy the dry days like today. And really, even today wasn't a completely dry day because we had a few sprinkles earlier this afternoon. And so by the time it's all said and done, we had a little bit of rain today, but it's a dry evening and afternoon. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we're dealing with rain.
Yep.
And so kind of just got to tough through it, trudge through, and get by. Do the best that we can. Vitamin D, get it as much you can because the sun is not going to be a big help, unfortunately, and really even hasn't been most places to this point today. But I'm hoping it comes out late this afternoon, and so we'll kind of keep our fingers crossed for that.
I was telling you, I was using my happy light just to hopefully wake me up a little bit more for some, not actual sunlight, but somewhat.
Yeah, to get something.
Kind of.
Any sort of help you can, right? It's good to have. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, an umbrella might be people's best friends for the next stretch. Let's go back.
Yeah,
Let me count here for a second.
Several days,
Yeah.
I think, especially starting tomorrow. I think, Thursday's a day where if you're not south of I-94, you may not need the umbrella until tomorrow evening. So that's why we get the 50%, is because at any point we could throw down a brief shower. But the bulk of this rain is really going to come as we get in, of all of the rain that is coming the next 5 days. Majority of it's going to come Friday mid-afternoon into Saturday midday. That's kind of the stretch we're looking at. So those Friday evening plans, hopefully you don't have too many that involve being outdoors. If you are traveling somewhere, maybe have that umbrella nearby. Anything Friday night around dinner time or after to keep that umbrella nearby is going to be smart to do. Good movie weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, temperatures in the low 50s and a lot of rain opportunities. So really the next couple stretches, you're behind on one of those shows, you're trying to binge and catch up on whatever you're doing, you got great weather for that because just cuddle up on the couch, read a nice book, something like that. That's what we've got going the next few days.
Well, I was asking you and Andy yesterday for a movie suggestion, and so it was a great movie night last night, and then like you said, definitely over the weekend would be good. And if there are any clearings, if people still need to carve pumpkins, that would be a great activity to do indoors. There you go.
Yeah, and I haven't completely written the weekend off yet. I think by the time we get to Sunday, especially Saturday is going to start soggy, but the afternoon we could start to see it let up, and Sunday showers should be spotty, if anything. It's not going to be an all-day rain Sunday. So you might find opportunities if you haven't been to the pumpkin patch, need to take the kids there to do things or the grandkids there to do things like that. You can still manage to do that, I think, probably on Sunday at some point. Just make sure you stay up to date with the forecast, and if you're not watching us on air or getting info online, you can always turn to that First Alert Weather app, and that's the way you can do that, which of course is free, and you get your daily video updates, but there's a whole lot more in addition to that. We do hour-by-hour forecasts, we do frequent constant updates on your future, past, present radar, whatever you need, and it's all in the palm of your hand. We have all those, and again, update it frequently as well. It's in the First Alert Weather app, which is absolutely free. Once again, all you got to do is go to the App Store, go to Google Play, and search WILX Weather. It pops up right there. It's got our logo and everything, so you don't miss a beat, and it's a great tool to have.
It is a great tool to have. I've said it to all of you. I've said it to you before. Use it every single day because you need to know what to wear. You need to know how to prepare for your day. So there you go.
It's the best way to do it, and I use it myself. And it's not just like whether I am or am not at work. If I'm home and I'm around the house, that's always the first thing I turn to pull up, and I've got it customized to my location as well. So if I'm heading over to Holt, or if I'm shooting over to Grand Ledge, up to St. John's, down to Jackson, I have that location set so that it can follow the area weather because it can vary greatly. We have just seen in this forecast, it's in the 60s right now in Jackson, but it's in the low 50s if you're in Lansing or St. John's, and so even though those are not that far apart from one another, we can have big swings this time of year, especially in the fall. And so it's good to know that.
Okay, and something else I'll add in here, and I'm not just saying that because we work for News 10, of course. We're little advocates for it.
Yeah.
But also, when I used to use the weather app on the iPhone, you're just getting, the hour by hour up there.
Yeah.
When you go to the First Alert Weather app, you can see the radar, you can see the videos, like everything else that you mentioned.
Sure.
There's so many different tools that you can see the forecast and really gain a better understanding for how you can go about your day.
And that's the big advantage. I mean, the First Alert Weather app versus like the iPhone weather app, if you're looking for a forecast in like 2 seconds and there's not much going on, it's probably fine for you to do that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, you can't, but it is personally the bane of my existence when like friends and family are like, oh, well, my iPhone app said, I just go, just get the First Alert Weather app. We'll have you covered. I won't have to correct you every 5 seconds or whatever's going on. So kind of that's the way that goes for me. But, it's definitely a great tool with the First Alert Weather app. You get everything you need to know.
Yeah, unfortunately, not all of you are like us in the newsroom where we can just go up to Justin or Colton or Andy or Dare and go, what's the forecast again? And they could be like, oh, it's this. So. There you go. Well, thank you, Justin. We do want to share what's coming up during First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news today, starting with Moores Park pool renovations. So we're going to have Lansing Mayor Andy Shore come in, and he's going to be talking about more on that. So get ready during Mid-Michigan Matters today. Coming up, News 10 at 5, Riley Connell has the latest on the conflict in Gaza and the impact it's having here in mid-Michigan. News 10 at 5:30, we talk about stopping the exodus of talent in Michigan. And coming up on News 10 at 6, in just under 9 hours, the Powerball numbers will be drawn for the $1.73 billion jackpot. I have Tanaya Jordan next to me, and we'll come back out to you in just a second tonight. We've got other reporters to check on, but are you going to try for the Powerball?
I am. I'm going to a few different stores before I go home tonight.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
So don't just go to one area. Okay. I'm not going to spill any more of your tips because maybe you'll win, and I want you to win.
Thank you.
You're
Just
welcome.
one for you guys.
There we go. Just one tip. Well, we're going to throw it out to, we got Tanaya and Justin joining us at the desk. Until then, we have Deanna, Mars, and Amaya who are sharing what they have coming up.
More retired teachers now have a bigger incentive for returning to the classroom. I'm Deanna Giles, and I'll share how a new bill is allowing them to maintain their retirement benefits while also being there for their students. I'll have that story on News 10 at 5:30. Mars?
Thanks, Deanna. Mars Anderson here. News 10 recently reported an absentee issue in the state of Michigan. However, the Michigan Department of Education recently released rates from the 2022-2023 school year, and we have seen an improvement. We'll talk with local schools about what they're doing to keep that change going. I'm going to toss it over to Amaya.
Thanks, Mars. I'm here in Watertown Township, a town that is mourning the loss of a boy just shy of 3 years old. His name was Jermaine, and he went missing from his home on Monday, and his body was found yesterday. I'll have more in our 90 minutes of news of just how this town is mourning and how they came together in this time of need. Tanaya, over to you.
All right, thank you, Deanna, Amaya, and Mars for sharing what you have coming up. Again, we have Tanaya Jordan here on the News 10 Plus desk who's going to share more. And so, Tanaya, talking about MSU and free tuition, what is going on with that?
So some schools, like colleges and universities in Michigan, already offer free tuition, like Olivet, well, the University of Olivet. They changed their name.
They did.
U of M, Saginaw Valley. Now Michigan State is joining the bandwagon. So incoming students, not just incoming freshmen, incoming students can, I guess, get these benefits, reap the benefits. If you qualify, you have to be eligible for the Pell Grants. Your family household income has to be less than $65,000, and you have to have in-state tuition. So as long as
Three
you have,
key factors there.
Yeah, as long as you have those, you qualify. You just have to fill out the FAFSA form. It automatically renews for up to, I think, 8 semesters. So you don't have to do anything extra. They'll handle everything for you.
Wow.
Just qualify. I talked to some students who are excited about it. They can't really reap the benefits because they're already students, but they think it's a good idea. And I don't know. I talked to the College of Admissions. He's excited to have these students come on in and just further their education.
Okay, so you talked to students whose reaction was, hey, this is a good idea. Did you have anyone who's, of course, this is for anyone who would be an incoming student, not just an incoming freshman, like you said, but the students who are already there, they cannot reap the benefits.
No, they can't.
Did they have any, pushback on that? Like, why don't we get that?
No, because they have scholarships in place and
Okay.
other free grants, free money for students that are already at Michigan State. So they're not really, feeling salty about it. They're just happy that other students can come in and reap the benefits.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's sweet. That touches my heart.
I know,
a
it's
little
really
bit.
nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tanaya. All right.
Absolutely.
Oh, when will you have more coming up in our evening newscast?
This will air tonight at 6 p.m., so check it out. We'll hear from students and the College of Admissions.
Perfect. Thank you, Tanaya. We'll
Thank
have
you.
more coming up. I do want to share this really quickly. This is our You're Not Alone mental health series. And so if you go ahead and scan that QR code to the right of your screen, it'll pull up a list of mental health resources. And I know Tanaya, her story is with Michigan State University. And the reason I want to bring this up is Ann Emmerich just had an incredible, impactful story called Selfless Spartan, and it's talking about one of the students who was in Berkey Hall helping out his classmates, actually made tourniquets out of shirts and belts and helping them to those who were injured, trying to save lives. Great, impactful story. You can check it out on WILX.com, and it's been about 8 months now. Almost exactly on the dot, the 13th would make it 8 months since the shooting at Michigan State University, and still people going through this hard time. And no matter what you're going through, if you feel like your emotional well-being is still a little shaken up, even if it's not from the shooting, if it's from something else, go scan that QR code for a list of those resources throughout our community. And whether it's you or someone else that you can really share those resources and pass it on forward. Another thing is you can call 988. That is the Lifeline chat. Go ahead and give that a call as well. We do have Justin Kent here, who's going to share more on also what he is coming up during our 90 minutes of news. Justin, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Yeah, it was another really lighthearted story today. Super awesome to see the kids at Sparrow Hospital. They had an opportunity. Spirit Halloween came over, and they gave costumes out to these kids who are stuck in the hospital, unfortunately, might miss out on Halloween. They were able to come down, pick out a costume, do some arts and crafts. It was just really a good day.
Oh, that is really cool. Were you able to talk to some of the patients then?
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to one of the kids. He's painting his pumpkin. It was just really cool to see just how excited they were to just be a kid again, which is really...
You're smiling over here, so
Yeah,
I know it made
yeah.
you feel good just watching them feel good about this.
It was really cool. I talked with one of the kids' mothers just about how important something like this is so that her kid has just a normal day.
Yeah.
Which is, hospitals can be so scary. They can be so, uneasy. I don't like going to the hospital myself. So I can imagine, if you're stuck there for an extended period of time for whatever reason, just having something like this to kind of take a break from that would be pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have more coming up in our later newscast. When can people check it out?
You can check out that story coming up for at the 6 o'clock cast. So.
All right. You seemed uncertain for a second. You're like,
Yeah.
6
I was
o'clock.
like, I think I'm in the 6.
There you go. I know. You're usually all over.
Right.
But okay. Thank
So
you.
cool. Thank you.
I think that is it. All we have. Yep. That is all we have. All right. Well, Justin, great job.
Thanks.
There we go. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.